Roadrunner Rundown on Bakersfield.com and the CSUB Roadrunners Digital Network. Live from the Dignity Health Studios in downtown Bakersfield, California.
And welcome into Roadrunner Rundown, the official program, CSUB Roadrunner Athletics. Thanks so much for joining us live from the Dignity Health Studios in downtown Bakersfield. Corey Costelloe here with you, and got a great program for you today. We're getting into that sort of crossover point of the year as the month of February is just about upon us, and that means spring sports are underway. And there's so many spring sports, and we did a lot of we did kind of a seasonal sport preview for every season. But spring, we've got like 5-6 teams in action, so we're gonna just kind of get their coaches and student athletes on the program as we get closer to their season. So joining us on the show today, and we got a great show lineup, but joining us first will be our head softball coach, Chrissy Buck-Ziegler, and her coming up on her 4th season with the Roadrunners. We'll talk with her as her season's about to get underway in a couple of weeks, our first game. So we'll talk with her. Practice has been going on for a few weeks now, so we'll preview the 2015 Roadrunners. And also, it's the triumphant return of Corey Versus, and it is a softball-themed Corey Versus, so we'll wait till segment number 2 and play that with Coach Buck-Ziegler in studio to see what her thoughts on my skills. So we'll have that coming up on the program. So that's coming up in the next segment. Also on the show today, what a weekend for women's basketball. They broke not one but 2 records fell, all-time records. Of course, Tyonna Outland breaking the all-time scoring record, and Batabe Zempare actually breaking the all-time rebounding record last week on the road, but honored at home for her efforts. And we will talk with both of them. They're going to come up bottom of the hour. We'll speak with Tyonna Outland and Batabe Zempare, 2 brand new all-time record holders, and both are records. There was plenty of games still to play in Tyonna's senior season. That record is going to be very tough to break, and Batabe still has an entire season and a half to play for the Roadrunners. So who knows where that rebounding record is going to stand at by the time she's done. But we'll speak with Batabe Zempare and Tyonna Outland on the program today as well, and much more. Of course, we've got news and highlights. Special feature coming up as well from the Par 3 Golf Championship, the fundraiser, which was held a few Mondays ago. Well, that coming up on the program as well. But first, to the highlights we go, and we'll start with men's basketball. They were in the Midwest, and they were on the road at Chicago State on Saturday as the Roadrunners going to play old-fashioned defensive style here in this one. The steal for Bakersfield, and then the Roadrunners pretty much did a lot of that all game long as the runners with the early steal, and then it's going to be Kevin Mays down low with the finish for the Roadrunners. That breaks an early deadlock. From that, it would be runners going on an 8-0 run. Jalen Arrington playing near his hometown. Yeah, got one there. He scored 2 of his 8 points with the jumper. Then it was Tyrell Corbin having another fantastic game as he drives and finishes, and the Roadrunners lead by 10. They would have a 7-point lead at the half. Second half action, Chicago State cuts the lead to 4 points, but the Runners' defense comes through again, forcing the missed layup there, and then Bakersfield able to turn that into 3 points from Javante Maynor. He continues his resurgence. He had 11 for the Runners, second half 3-pointers. 11 minutes ago, 5-point lead until Ali Ahmed gets the offensive rebound from Chicago State, and then Javante Maynor then Ahmed going to hit the baseline jumper there for CSUB, as the Runners then going to go back, and Chicago State will miss another shot. Then the Runners from Maynor once again on the near side corner. This time he gets the 3. Follow that with yet another Cougar miss, and then Tyrell Corbin the foul and 1. He hits the free throw. Runners by 13. Runners in the midst of a 12-0 run. Kevin Mays with the put up, and the Runners then now by 15 points. And how about this? Ali Ahmed, here's how you break the press. You give it to the big fella. He's across the timeline. He's like, I got this. Now he's going to back his man down. He's going to go all the way to the bucket, finish with the jump hook. How about that? Coast to coast. He had 13 for the Roadrunners. 5:30 to play. This is where CSUB got in trouble on Thursday not to be here, as the Roadrunners now Ahmed getting stronger with the offensive rebound and the putback and 1. His free throw gives the Runners a 17-point lead. Inside 3 minutes to play. The finisher coming up right here. Javante Maynor, his third 3. Runners hold on Chicago State to just 41 points. That is a record for CSUB against a Division I opponent, a record low. 41 points allowed for the Roadrunners in a 57-41 win. And Javante Maynard, Ali Ahmed and Tyrell Corbin, 13 points, 8 rebounds apiece in the win. Javante Maynard with 11 as well, including 3 second-half three-pointers. So Bakersfield with the victory there, and the Roadrunners split the Midwest trip. Here's what's happening for CSUB. They're actually going to play San Diego Christian tonight at 7 o'clock at the Icardo Center, and then they step out of conference play for a Tuesday night matchup, and then they're going to be home to Seattle on Saturday. The Runners hosting Seattle 7 o'clock at the Icardo Center, and so then again a non-conference game for the Runners, and then a regular season game as well for Bakersfield. So the Roadrunners now starting a 4-game homestand with San Diego Christian, then Seattle, and then next week it's all Western Athletic Conference play. They'll host Utah Valley on Thursday, and then nationally televised, and don't forget this, nationally televised on Saturday, February the 7th on the American Sports Network. I'm telling you, they're going to see this game in 30 different states, 100 different stations, major markets. So make sure you head out to the Icardo Center, be a part of the first ever nationally televised game from the Icardo Center, and make sure you join us February 7th. Tickets for all those games coming up at the homestand available at valleytix.com. All right, let's go to women's basketball on Thursday as they were hosting UMKC, and all eyes in this one on Tyonna Outland there on the left, and even Batabe Zempare on the right, both with records. Outland needed 9 entering the game. Early on, it was UMKC with the lead, the missed shot, and the offensive rebound and putback. Speaking of rebounds, Batabe Zempare getting one here, and she becomes the all-time leading rebounder in CSUB history. Actually did it last week on the road, building that lead there. Meanwhile, Outland chipping away at the record with the nice offensive rebound here. This is why she scores, because she hustles. Then she's going to drive and finish as she inches closer. Alyssa Shannon, though, the big story in the game. Shannon, how about 24 points to help lead CSUB? She drives with a left-hand layup there, and she was 5 of 10 from the field. Runners down by 2, and here's the moment that we were waiting for.
Again,
as
Tyonna Outland just 1 point away from taking the CSUB all-time leading scoring record, and the loose ball picked up by Smith. Smith gets it ahead to Outland. Outland to the glass, knocks it down, and there it is. Tyonna Outland, the CSUB all-time leading scorer.
There you go, Adam Resendez with a call on the WAC Digital Network as one more look in slow motion. The Roadrunners making history here. Outland, 1,798 career points at that point of the game. She's recognized at half court with head coach Greg McCall. Also, and even as she pointed out to us, she was looking forward to breaking the record with her mom in attendance, and sure enough, she gets a chance to hand the plaque off and give her mom, Tanya, a hug as well, as she then over to the teammates real quick as well during the timeout to get a few congratulations and back to business. And it was business for the Roadrunners. They did it. They win that one 70-67, winning that one. Outland, the new career points leader. And, of course, that record is just going to continue to grow. She's still got a good chunk of the season still to play for CSUB. Also, good news for the Roadrunners. They get 24 from Outland on Saturday. And Bakersfield, make that 19 points from Melissa Shannon, I should say, on Saturday. They beat Chicago State 83-58. Shannon with 2 great games, 24 against Kansas City, 19 against Chicago State. She was named Western Athletic Conference Player of the Week for the second time this season. On the road for women's basketball, here's what's coming up. They will go to Seattle on Saturday at 4 p.m. The Roadrunners taking on the Red Hawks. Big matchup for CSUB. Have not played well on the road, so they're definitely trying to get their first road conference victory. They'll be at Seattle Saturday at 4 p.m. Real quick, CSUB wrestling in their next to last home duel of the season, pretty much handling San Francisco State 20-12. Williams, Fierro, Nickel, Mendez, both Cole and Bryce Hammond getting wins for the Roadrunners in the duel as Bakersfield wins 20-12 in a non-conference matchup with San Francisco State. Runners are going to be at Cal Poly Thursday, 3 o'clock. This one's actually going to be held outside. They're going to do it out on the Cal Poly campus, outside for I guess the world to see. So it's going to be Thursday at 3 o'clock, and the Runners preparing for that by opening all the doors to their wrestling room this week during practice to kind of get that outdoor feel for a dual match. So that will happen Thursday at 3 o'clock on the Cal Poly campus in Pac-12 action. Real quick notes from water polo this weekend. It was the Runners with a nice win. They did lose to a couple nationally ranked opponents, but how about beating a nationally ranked ranked opponent for the first time since 2012. 11-6, water polo gets the victory over UC San Diego. As I mentioned, first nationally ranked opponent victory since 2012. All right, one more note as CSUB Golf held their annual Par 3 tournament last week at Bakersfield Country Club, and for a fundraiser for the golf program, our own Kayla Bailey was on site for the festivities.
Here in Bakersfield, California at Bakersfield Country Club for the Par 3 tournament that CSUB Golf puts on every year. Coach Greg Osborne says that everyone here participating has made donations or are looking to donate, and that there's lovely prizes at every hole. He has some luxurious cars out here that are up for prizes, up for win, and everyone's here to just have a good time.
I'm the director of golf here at Cal State. As you can see, we're having our annual fundraiser. It's a Par 3 championship. It's at Bakersfield Country Club today. It's been an absolute fiasco, but we're getting it together. There's a prize on every hole, plus there's 4 vehicles out here for hole-in-one. So as you're going out, you're going to meet some of the people that are playing back and forth. The group is great. This is a donation only. There is food and drinks for everyone.
But kind of my role is to walk around and make sure everyone's having a good time, talk to them about, you know, how great our golf team has done. You know, they're the top 2 academic performers as far as teams. The men's team had the highest men's GPA in the athletics department. The women's team had the highest women's GPA. So we're really proud of these student athletes.
I'm really excited to be part of this tournament. It was my favorite tournament last year, this Par 3 tournament. We get to get out here and have fun with our friends and hopefully win some cars and win some great prizes. And we wish the golf team the very best.
Oh, it's a great day. Excited to be out here. Excited to support Greg and his golf program. We think it's a fantastic opportunity to get away from the court and help out in any way we can, be a part of the team. So we're just really excited to be here.
I think there's a lot of people out here just supporting our program, and everyone's just having fun. I think it's a little cold, but I think everyone's gonna have a good time today.
We're having an excellent time. Not golfing very well, but we're out here to raise money for the program, and I'm happy to be out here with my son.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I'm having a lot of fun so far, and seeing everyone with the support that we have in Bakersfield is incredible. I was so excited when Greg told me, he's like, your dad, if he can get a group going, you get to go with him. And I was like, oh, that's going to be so much fun.
It's great having a caddy today because he chases my ball. He chases my ball and tosses it to me. So great time, great event, and for a great cause today.
This is a great place right now. We have a lot of supporters. I think we had like 75 people come out to support us today, so it's a great community.
I want to thank everybody that played in our event today. It's been very successful. I appreciate everybody supporting our self-funded sport and helping out our golf program. We're looking forward to going and having a lot of success this year, especially going into next year. So thank you, everybody, and I just can't appreciate how much our offers have gone. Thanks a lot.
And there you have it. Here today at Bakersfield Country Club, we conclude the Par 3 tournament. Coach Greg Osborne has reached success once again. Today was filled with donors, boosters, students, alumni, faculty members. Everyone had a great day. Free food, free drinks, and it was just all around a great day. Cold, but great. Thank you.
Having a good time out here. Thanks for inviting us.
All right, there you have it as the CSUB golf team once again with a Par 3 championship. Had a good one out there at Bakersfield Country Club. Thanks to all of those who participated and donated as well to the golf program. We're going to step away and take a break. When we come back, we're talking softball with head coach Chrissy Buck-Ziegler, and we're going to show off my softball skills and Corey versus. Don't go away. We'll be back as Roadrunner Rundown.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great schools. And no matter what school you go to, there's still one thing.
One thing! One thing!
We can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our auto rates as low as 1.99 APR with no payments up to 90 days.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
Welcome everyone. Nissan of Bakersfield has everything for the perfect car buying experience. Like our beautiful showroom, full of the most popular Nissan models for you to explore. And our fully stocked parts and service department from everything from genuine Nissan accessories to factory-trained service technicians to keep your car running its best. Plus, our massive inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles means you're guaranteed to find the right one for you. Nissan of Bakersfield is where you should buy your next car.
Kern Business Journal contains news and information from local business leaders and organizations. Topics include agriculture, health and medical, energy, transportation, and more. Visit KernBusinessJournal.com to find out how to subscribe or where to pick up a free copy. To inquire about advertising in the bi-monthly business journal, call 395-7586. Find us online on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on KernBusinessJournal.com.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
It all comes down to this. 14 teams battle their way through the bracket for a chance to punch their ticket to the big dance. Be a part of the madness in Las Vegas, March 11th to 14th. Go all in and witness who goes home a champion at Orleans Arena. The 2015 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. Tickets on sale now at OrleansArena.com.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. You can get the show anytime, by the way, online at GoRunners.com. Got a brand new GoRunners.com, nice and shiny, nice and redesigned, and there's a permanent spot for Roadrunner Rundown right in the top right corner. You can't miss it. Catch the show anytime, archive editions of the program as well. All right, welcome to the show now. We're getting into our late January, early February. It means the transition to spring, although people on the East Coast would disagree, but on the West Coast and in college athletics, it means it's the transition to spring in our spring sports, and our head softball coach, Chrissy Buck-Ziegler, joins us on the program now. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Good, good. Well, we're gonna talk about your team. We're gonna preview your team a little bit, but more importantly, so we haven't had a Corey versus in a couple months. I don't know. I've just been lazy. So a couple of your girls were kind enough to sort of take me under their wing and show me how to slap hit, which is a tough thing in softball, right?
It's probably one of the toughest things to do, to run and try to hit the ball at the same time. We have a difficult time just standing there and hitting the ball, but to run and actually hit it is very difficult.
Well, you might feel better about how difficult it is, or change your mind on how difficult it is based on this. So here we go, folks, and we're going to have Coach kind of reevaluate me after this is over. But here is our latest edition of Corey Versus. And it's the triumphant return of Corey Versus here on Roadrunner Rundown. We're out here with Josie at the softball field. Now, I had this idea that I see this all the time in softball. It's you have your regular hitters, people that just swing, and then you have the slap hitter, right? Yeah. What exactly is the slap hitter doing and trying to do?
Basically, you want to put a lot of pressure on your defense. You'll probably have like one of the top fast, speedy girls on the team, and you just want to put the ball in play, and you're closer to first, obviously. You got that extra step, and so you basically use your speed as an advantage
And you kind of, don't you kind of like run, kind of step towards?
You kind of time it with like the pitcher's, like her wind up, and you just kind of run out the ball and put it in play.
Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to have Josie actually show you how to do it, and then I'll actually try to become a slap hitter, because nothing says speed and speed and skill like me, and so we'll give it a shot. So here it goes. So to make this work, we need a pitcher, and the staff ace Kelsey Monroe is handling those duties. Lucky me. And a catcher where Mackenzie Zinger steps in. So we're covered. And of course a hitter who knows what they're doing, like Josie Flores. Like a good hitter, Josie takes a couple pitches before settling on the one to show us how it's done. And there you have it. To the approval of her team, Flores makes textbook contact. Once more in slow motion, yeah, she knows exactly how it's done. That's what I need to do, so we'll have her give me a few pointers first. All right, so then what are the finer points? Like, what should I do with my feet? I notice you're taking a couple steps forward, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Go ahead.
So, I start back in the box.
Okay.
And then when she does her motion, I bring my foot in, just kind of get your timing down.
Uh-huh.
And then you want to, like, plant this foot down before you even move your,
Okay.
Yeah. And then when it comes, you just, like, slap it down. You have to keep running to the pitcher, because a lot of things that girls like to do is that they already want to take off to first base.
Right.
And as a pitcher, they like to pitch you outside, so you can't even touch that pitch.
Okay.
So it's really like important to keep running to the pitcher and then take off.
And so you're making contact, so you're trying to make contact right here on this foot?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, all right. Yeah, this should work great. So, so again, I'm just going to be like coming in, and off the first base I go, right? Is that kind of the plan?
Yes,
right.
But keep going to the pitcher.
Go straight, I see,
Yes.
okay.
And then
So,
once you put the ball in play, then run to
boom,
first.
then I'm like bat flip, and then I go to first base. All right. Oh yeah, that fits perfectly. Challenge number 1 is squeezing this 10-gallon head into a 5-gallon helmet. This was a separate episode in itself, but I got her done. So I'm ready, although I've never hit lefty in my life, let alone slap hit. And it shows right away. Yeah, that was a pretty solid effort, if I don't say so myself. Taking a look through Corey Cam, and that was a decent swing, but a bad miss. Take 2. Another miss, but I felt that one work a little better. I think that was pretty good of a timing, though. I felt good about the timing on that one. Strike 3 technically, but I might have got a piece of that one. You don't want me making contact, because you'll never hear the end of it if I make contact. Ever. Like, oh, that's a pitch I totally slapped off of. Last chance, but I'm feeling it now. I mean, really feeling it. Textbook slap and chopper, and the results are obvious.
That's what you want. That's what you want.
Boom, in the base hit. It was like a hitting dream, but made a reality by dominance. Is there anything I can't do? All right, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Thanks for making it easy on me. Thanks for making it easy on me. There you have it. That was textbook, right? I mean, that
was pretty good, but the whole point is to get down the line a lot faster, so I think it does help you.
It does.
I don't know if you would have been safe.
I thought about, actually, at one point, I thought about diving headfirst into first, and I realized about halfway down the line that I was wearing a $300 GoPro camera on my chest.
Yeah, that wouldn't
Probably
be good.
not a good idea.
No.
But anyway, thanks to Josie and Kelsey and Mackenzie for helping me out with that and making me look good. So I can come to practice. If you need someone to come to practice and do that,
yes.
do that.
I mean, it kind of proves my point. If you listen to what we say,
Anybody
it'll
can
work.
do it.
Anybody can do it. So. No.
All right, let's talk about the season a little bit here. You guys have just talk about the team. I mean, just what you've been trying to build this team for the last few years. So going into 2015, where do you see your squad at, and what would you kind of focus on?
I think there's more depth. I've been trying to build that, and our coaching staff has been trying to go out and find more mature players. We have a lot of JC transfers this year. We have a lot more depth per position. And the biggest concept that these kids understand is it's about the team. I'm a big John Wooden fan, and I'm all about the nuts and the bolts of a program. So we're now having nuts and bolts of a program, and that's the biggest change that I've seen this season. And so we've got kids that just buy in, and that's what's fun.
Were you like a lot of the other coaches in every sport that said after that first year in the WAC, thought to yourself, I need my team to be a little tougher. I need to go get tough kids. I mean, it was because of the travel with the conference, the schedule, and was that kind of crossed your mind too?
I think that's a big thing. I think we're looking more nationally now, recruiting wise. We're looking at Hawaii. That's a big. I mean, if you're looking at New Mexico State, that's a big area where they recruit from. So we're tapping into that pipeline, so to speak, and we're looking more Arizona and using whatever scholarships we can to help get these kids, because you have to go head to head with. They're just different nationally. They're more bruisers. Where here we're a little bit. Finesse, a finesse style. But that's a big thing. We went, but we have a lot of California kids, JC-wise, they want to play. Yeah. That's a big thing. They don't care, and they don't care how they play or who they're playing against. And that's always been my philosophy. It's in this sport, it's 60 feet and turn left. Yeah. So that's what I want kids to have, is that mentality of, well, we're just going out and playing ball. I mean, you saw those kids were smiling and having a good time. They're down and dirty. Kelsey didn't like the fact that you hit her, but that's they have that grit, and that's what we need right now is grit.
Yeah, and how have the first couple weeks of practice been? Because I look at it and I see, as you bring up a team that's down and dirty, they get off the field every day and they're walking around the hallways and they are dirty. Their uniforms are dirty. It looks like they've been busy. They've been working. And so what have those first couple of weeks been like?
We've done a lot of scrimmaging. So we have a larger team than we've had in the past. We've got 24 girls this year, and so we have a lot of competition, and that was a big thing that we wanted. We wanted to compete amongst ourselves. And so they're not just vying for their own spot; they're vying to help this program win. And we have a conversation, and it's winning a WAC title. I've come here 4 years ago, and it's always been winning whatever conference title we can. So they understand that everything that they do, we even practice celebrating, because we took a page from Jim Valvano that you practice. Feeling good and success. Yeah. And so at first they kind of were like, come on, really? We're going to practice celebrating? And now they buy in, and because it could be any play that is going to win a game.
Yeah, and I know I've seen other sports too. I know, like in volleyball, celebrating is you'll see it on like the coaches' things they work on in practice, and they'll say celebrations.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's something that we never think about. I mean, I'm a very vocal, energetic, and love to see somebody do a play that is unexpected. Yeah, and I love celebrating that, and so I want my players to feel that same way. But yeah, why not celebrate a success? Why not celebrate something good?
Yeah, get used to it. Get used to being successful. Let's talk about your guys' schedule. I know, as normal, it kind of starts with a murderer's row of who's who in softball. So talk about that and what you kind of hoped preparing for the conference with that tough non-conference schedule.
I would say, if you look at years past, everyone says, oh, you have a murderous row. Every time we've played every single team, whether it be a Washington, UCLA, we're in it.
Right there, yeah.
And so you need to have a mindset of, we're not just in it, we're in it to be on top. Yeah. I think that's helped. That's why people want to come to our program right now, is because of who we're playing, not how many wins we have. And that's special to me. They want to play against the best, and they want to beat the best. That has been my motto since I got here, and now you're starting to have kids with that same motto and creed. So it'll take time, and I'm not saying we're going to go out and, hey, be 5-0 in that first weekend, but I will see my team fighting with, their guts and their heart, and that's what I want from them.
Yeah, Sporto Classic starts it off on Friday the 6th against Washington and Minnesota. The 7th, it's UNLV in Louisville. And then Sunday, it's UC Davis. And then the USD tournament in San Diego, Southern Utah twice, Montana, Kent State, and San Diego, a former conference mate of yours. And then you finally get a home couple home games Saturday the 21st. You get a doubleheader against Pacific. and then back on the road at the LMU Northridge tournament, Sac State, Loyola Marymount, Northridge. Then in New Mexico, you'll go Rutgers, New Mexico, a couple games, and then home against Boise State and Cal Poly in early March, and then into conference play as well. You guys are right there. So, I mean, obviously tough competition early, but that should kind of prepare you for the conference schedule.
And that's the biggest issue. You look at our conference and you look at who the conference is playing as well. They're playing the same teams. And that's, if you're going to prepare for them, you got to play against similar competition and kind of measure yourself up. So I feel very confident moving into the season. I don't know what the season's going to hold, but I know that the kids are going to fight for it.
Yeah, and then last year kind of a surprise. I mean, I guess you call it a surprise. Utah Valley wins a conference tournament. They go to the NCAA tournament. So again, like every other sport in the Western Athletic Conference, this thing is wide open. It could be won on the final weekend of the year.
It's who gets hot at the right time. And we say it all the time with any sport. Who gets hot at the right time? And they got hot at the right time. They had a belief in them that no one was going to, and that was senior leadership, that they were going to roll through. And, it's funny, I talked with the New Mexico State coach. They go, our parents didn't come to the WAC title because they thought they were going to regionals. And it was a lesson that I took to heart. It's like, no. We're going and we're competing hard at that WAC tournament, no matter what our record is. And I think that's a good lesson for all of our teams to know.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we'll definitely get you on as the season gets going in a few weeks. I know you got to go on the road for a bit, but before that home opener, we'll definitely have you back on the program, talk a little bit more specifically about the team. Thanks so much for joining us. Good luck in a couple weeks getting actually next week. Is that next week?
Next week.
Gosh.
Next week.
Jump right into it. So good luck in Las Vegas, and we'll chat again soon.
All right. Thanks, Corey.
All right. Head coach Chrissy Buck-Ziegler here on Roadrunner Rundown. We got a step away take break. When we come back, some basketball record breakers and record holders. Tyonna, Outland, Batabe, Zempare. Join us next. Back after this, it's Roadrunner Rundown.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great schools. And no matter what school you go to, there's still one thing we can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our auto rates as low as 1.99 APR with no payments up to 90 days.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
I am not going to ask him about funguses.
Fungi.
Honey, have you called Gunlocks about fixing that toilet upstairs?
I saw a plumbing episode on the Fix It channel. Yeah, I can fix it.
You could try it yourself, or you could just call Gunlax and save your marriage.
Hey, honey, I think I did it.
Gunlax, 327-3052.
That wasn't so bad.
We've never done marketing. It seems to be a little intimidating. You don't know what's available. You think you're going to sell your first child, or it's going to be really expensive to do. But Heather really described everything in a way that we knew exactly what we were doing. There was no questions about it. She was very clear.
I really enjoyed that Heather took her time to get to know us as a family, get to know our business. From anyone that I do meet, I like to get to know them.
We knew exactly what we were getting into, but really the results of it was far more than we ever expected. I think it brought us to the forefront of most people's mind. So they heard our name, and then all of the videos and pictures, the Bakersfield Life, put a face to the name, and they were able to connect that and know what our product was, but also know us as a family.
Because of the Bakersfield Californian and because of Heather, generated so much buzz about our restaurant that we couldn't have done it alone.
It all comes down to this. 14 teams battle their way through the bracket for a chance to punch their ticket to the big dance. Be a part of the madness in Las Vegas, March 11th to 14th. Go all in and witness who goes home a champion at Orleans Arena. The 2015 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. Tickets on sale now at OrleansArena.com.
The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes. We're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
And we're back here on Roadrunner Rundown. My thanks to Chrissy Buck-Ziegler for joining us on the program, CSUB head softball coach. And the Roadrunners open next week at the UNLV tournament, taking on the University of Washington, first game in that tournament, and Minnesota included in that first day. So obviously, good test early for the Roadrunners. Their home series, first home series, is February the 21st, a doubleheader against Pacific. Well, this weekend it was it's been a year of just breaking records and seeking records, and we had a couple records that were recognized this weekend. One was actually broken last week on the road, but I want to welcome to the program now CSUB's new all-time leading scorer with 1,827 career points, Tyonna Outland, and CSUB's new all-time leading rebounder with 703 rebounds, both of them, by the way, and counting. Still more to come. Leading rebounder, Batabe Zempare. Ladies, welcome to the program. How you doing?
Good. You?
Good. How was the weekend, Ty? I know you had said you'd be happy when it's over, and so you got a chance to break it at home. You got a chance to break it in front of your family. I saw you giving your mom a hug after you got that plaque in the middle of the game. You guys won the games this weekend, so obviously it was a pretty good weekend all around.
Yes, it was a great weekend. It was really busy due to a game, then driving back home to get my jersey retired, then coming back and we have another game. It was really busy but exciting. I enjoyed it all. Like I couldn't trade it in for anything.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well, and then Batabe, you as well. They recognized your record on Saturday. It happened to be broken last week, and the thing is, like, everyone thought, well, Batabe's only a junior. And then when you actually look at the record book, you're like, oh my God, she's like gonna break this thing.
Yeah.
What was it like for you? I mean, just to kind of hear the news that you're the leading rebounder now.
It's awesome, but I mean, I feel like I can do way more. So it's a good recognition. I'm glad I still have a whole year to break even more records, because I mean, everyone wants to leave their footprint on something they've done. So I'm glad I got to do that.
What's kind of your secret with? I mean, rebounding. Every rebounder has got some kind of secret, and we've never seen a rebounder. I mean, quite like you in this program. Historically, CSUB has not rebounded well. I mean, you've kind of changed the game. So, is there kind of a secret for you when you're going after the ball, or?
Just relentlessness, just attacking the ball, being aggressive to the ball, and I'm just blessed that it comes naturally to me. I don't have to do extra. It just comes naturally to me. So. And
you get some help from your guards. Tyonna was telling us off the air that you get some rebounds that are kind of helped your direction.
Yep.
Definitely. Some balls that's tipped to her goes to her stats.
Teamwork.
There you go. Yeah, they don't put those things in the stats. That's for sure. Ty, we were talking. You mentioned earlier just about actually last week, leading up to the games, you're just thinking, I kind of want this to be over. And now that it's over, I mean, what are your thoughts moving forward? Is it now you can just focus on winning games and getting this team into the NCAA tournament?
Most definitely. The whole time that the record was approaching, though, I approached every game the same, just to win. And I knew I approached it like any other game. If I got close to the record thus far, then I will get it, approaching it the same. A lot of people just, when they focus on those things, it's kind of a curse. They can't score that basket to get to it. So I was just like, well, I'm just going to play in the flow of the game. And when the ball comes and I have the right time to score, I'm going to score. But I never really thought, I'm about to break the record on this play, or I'm about to break the record on this time. A lot of people ask, are you going to do it in the first 5 minutes or things like that? I'm like, I don't really care. I just want to win the game.
And it came on an interesting play. It came on a steal.
Mm-hmm.
There was a steal, and then Q goes up the floor and finds you in transition. And it was you wanted a 3-point play. You almost got contact, but you ended up getting on a steal and a layup, which was kind of interesting.
It was a great play. It was actually a highlight play in my opinion. It was a great pass from Shaquita Smith, and I couldn't ask to get on a better play. I did want a 3-point play, but that was a great play to get it on too.
Yeah, there you go. And then you guys end up going on to win that game as well. It's been obviously a battle in a couple of these conference games. You guys now go on the road, Batabe. I know that's been kind of an issue so far this year. So you're going on the road to Seattle on Saturday. What do you try to do differently? What are you trying to focus on as you go into that game?
Defense. It starts on the defensive end, and just stopping their post players. They're very post-oriented, and just our guards doing what they do. And we should come out with that win if we focus on that.
Has that been the difference in the games where you guys have lost on the road? Has it been just really the defensive effort? Because a lot of time the defense will feed the offense. And has that been probably the biggest thing that's been missing on the road in these games?
Defense and I think energy. Our energy has been kind of down. We play with a lot more energy at home, obviously, because the comfort level. So we need to find a comfort level at somebody else's home. That's what the big thing is.
We really score and we do our best when we have transition buckets. When we have a lot of transition buckets, we feed off that and we pick up our energy off that. A lot of teams been zoning us, so we haven't really been able to push the ball. But we started to learn in practice, push the ball even on the zone. It'll make them shift. So we just gotta continue our habits that we have at home on the road too, because I mean every good team win on the road as well as at home.
Yeah, and you brought up the zone. I know you guys had struggled a little bit in this season with that. It seems like the last few games, though, people are coming in and they're convinced we're just going to zone Bakersfield all game long. But you guys have found a way to be successful against it. So the more you're successful against it, whether it's pressing the ball, whatever it is, I mean, is that going to really encourage more teams to probably go man a little bit more?
Yes. A lot of the problem was in the beginning of the season we wasn't executing. We were too busy trying to rush and get a bucket on the first pass. But we had to learn that we have to swing, make the zones shift, and get the best shot, not just the good shot, but the best shot. So the pressing is helping tremendously. It's speeding a lot of teams up, and they're playing in our hands. So our game is running and not really setting up as much, but we like to run, and the press is helping us.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like you're starting to kind of figure that out a little bit, and teams are starting to reconsider their defensive game plan against you. You guys stick around one more segment?
Yes.
Talk a little more basketball. We'll talk records. We'll talk, of course, upcoming games for your squad as well. Big series not only this weekend, of course, conference games, and a big home series in a couple weeks, so we'll talk about that as well. We'll be back, folks, when we continue more with Batabe, Zempare, and Tyonna Outland. After this, it's Roadrunner Rundown.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great schools. And no matter what school you go to, there's still one thing we can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our auto rates as low as 1.99 APR with no payments up to 90 days.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
Kern Business Journal contains news and information from local business leaders and organizations. Topics include agriculture, health and medical, energy, transportation, and more. Visit KernBusinessJournal.com to find out how to subscribe or where to pick up a free copy. To inquire about advertising in the bi-monthly Business Journal, call 395-7586. Find us online on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on KernBusinessJournal.com.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential. We compete on the field with integrity, on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
It all comes down to this. 14 teams battle their way through the bracket for a chance to punch their ticket to the big dance. Be a part of the madness in Las Vegas, March 11th to 14th. Go all in and witness who goes home a champion at Orleans Arena. The 2015 WAC Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament. Tickets on sale now at OrleansArena.com.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown as we continue on the program. By the way, get the show anytime online at gorunners.com. Hey, next week on the program, men's basketball continues their homestand, so we're going to have Ali Ahmed join us on the program, the leading scorer for the Roadrunners. Join us next week on the show. They got 2 conference games coming up next week, one this week, and, of course, 1 non-conference game as well for the Roadrunners. On the women's basketball side, well, they've got 1 conference game this week. They're on their way to Seattle. They will be taking on the Redhawks Saturday evening, and joined now once again by Tyonna Outland and Batabe Zempare, both with records last week. Tyonna setting the all-time leading scoring record, Batabe the all-time leading rebounding record. And Ty, you mentioned earlier you actually had a busy week because you went back home to Linwood High School and they retired your number. What was that like?
I actually didn't think I would have much traffic to get there, but it definitely was. But just the turnaround, I wanted to make sure I got back at a decent time so I get the proper rest for the game because that's still important. But it was great. Like, my family was there, my friends were there. Actually, more people was there than the night I got the record because it was so close to home. Yeah. So it was great. Just everybody was so warming and welcoming me back. So. Nice, and you even had some teammates make the trek too, right? Yes, Batabe, Q, Erica, and Deji ended up going with me, so it made it that much better to have some teammates to support what was going on there too. Well, we're gonna have to make a call then to Batabe's Chaparral High School in Scottsdale, right? I mean, you had 18 points and 15 rebounds a game as a senior in high school, and you have an all-time record. If I gotta make some calls, Batabe, I'll do it. You know.
Yeah, I think I need to make some calls.
Yeah. I mean, I can make calls. I got you at a study hall to be on the show today, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody though. Don't tell everyone else. I don't want to be getting calls from anyone else going, "Hey, I heard you give me at a study hall." But actually, thankfully you're a good student, so you didn't quite need all of it. But I'll rest student athletes. Don't be calling me thinking I can get you at a study hall now. I don't got time for that. So you guys go on the road. We talked about that a little bit earlier. And Ty, you got that record at home, and former leading scorer Katie McElry actually kind of sent a little video for you. So what was that like to kind of get recognition from the person you surpassed? It was an honor. I actually didn't expect her to send a video, but it was great to see that she was still involved in watching our games, and she actually passed the torch. It was great. I respect her a lot, and it was a great honor just to have her send that video. Yeah, I know she was planning on she lives in Seattle, so she's planning on making she coaches junior varsity basketball, girls basketball, so I think she's going to bring her team out to your guys' game on Saturday. And, cool. And definitely wants to meet you, and she was asking me questions about just about the team and obviously she wanted to make sure not only if a record was going to be broken, but it was broken by a good player and a good person. She was asking me all these questions about Ty, and I said, she's all right. But no, she was really happy to do it, and she kind of made the joke to me. She goes, well, in my heart, at least I'll always have the Division II record. You guys, we mentioned Saturday at Seattle. Then you're going to be on the road at Utah Valley and Grand Canyon. By the way, you've played those teams. You're going to play them for the first time this year. But you know how at least Utah Valley for the first time this year played Grand Canyon once. What do you expect kind of the second time around as you make teams make those adjustments?
I expect them to. I mean, we are the top team, so people are gonna play up to us. They're gonna play us tough. They're gonna try to out tough us, but that doesn't usually work. But I expect them to zone us, of course, and that's the only way people think they can stop us. So, just a lot of. I think they should be really good games to watch. Now, it seems like you got those early 2 conference losses at Pan Am and at New Mexico State. What did that do for your team? It seems like it really just actually did nothing but make you angry, or as Coach McCall pointed out, hangry last week, hungry and angry. What did that do for your team? Because you guys really were kind of on a roll at that point, and then you kind of get stopped a little bit. So what did it kind of do for the mindset of the team after those 2 losses? It really opened up our eyes to know that people are not going to back down to us just because we're named a preseason #1 team. A lot of teams are going to fight and play us their hardest, and it just made us humble ourselves and knew that we had to make adjustments and do the things that we did in preseason to get those big wins that we have to do now in conference. We can't settle. And
just had us focus on execution. We were getting away with a lot of things with our wins, and like any other thing, winning covers up a lot.
Yeah.
So them losses, like I said, opened up our eyes to know that we're not invincible. Like any team can be beaten on any night, so we have to come with our best game and focused every night.
And you guys had to make some adjustments as well. I know losing a good score and a friend like yours, Deji Vines, to injury. I mean, Batabe, that kind of changed things because that's one less score, one less rebounder on the floor as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was definitely a tough loss. But like Coach always preached next man up, so we had to step up, and it would have been easier to have her on the court because she's a good friend, and she's just her energy for the game, her love for the game, it makes things a lot easier. So she's definitely missed.
But you've had some players step up, as you point out. One of them being your point guard, Alyssa Shannon, here lately, who was just really, I mean, she was named Conference Player of the Week for the second time, 24 points, 19 points this past weekend. I mean, talk about how her game has changed because she's really turned not only from a point guard but a scoring threat now.
It helps tremendously. We feed off Alyssa. She starts off with the ball. She basically makes us push or when to go. So to have her have her be a scoring threat as well, it takes a burden off Batabe, off me, off anybody on the team because now it's a threat and it opens up other things for like our shooters, Brooke, Shaquita to make shots. Like her, it just helps tremendously.
Yeah.
Are you surprised, Batabe, you being a post player, are you surprised sometimes? Because she seems to have, like, this fearlessness to her. So you see her sometimes go right at the defense and right at the biggest players on the floor. Does that surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me because that's what she does in practice. So it's just I like that because she's so fearless. For someone who's with smaller stature, she's so fearless and just goes in like she's one of the big dogs and just attacks the rim like it's nothing.
Hey, it works. Well, after the 2 weeks on the road, in about 3 weeks, and we'll talk about it more as we get closer, but really a couple big games. They're all big in conference play, but really trying to get folks to come out to your next homestand, which will be Thursday, the 13th or whatever, I believe against Texas Pan American, and that following Saturday, the 15th or 14th against New Mexico State. Two big games. Those teams right now, right in the top of the standings. So trying to encourage fans to show up, and you're going to be your second time around against those teams, the teams that got you the first time. So obviously there'll be a little chip on your shoulder.
Yes, it'll just be like another get back game to redeem ourselves and show everybody that them other games we just want to peak at the right time. Yeah. So it's definitely going to be a chip on our shoulders. We're going to play with a lot of hangry. Just a lot of energy. Like it's going to be a great game, emotional game for us.
Maybe we'll come up with hangry T-shirts to give away that weekend, right? I mean,
with Coach McCall face right there.
That's a great idea. I think we're going to go with that for sure. A little silhouette of Coach McCall's face and just say hangry with a question mark or something.
Yeah, right? Him yelling. Hangry.
Perfect. I like it. And a couple other records I want to tell people that might fall this year. The women's basketball attendance record is close. I mean, we're close to breaking that thing. That's why that weekend we're trying to say, hey, make sure you get out and see the runners because women's basketball attendance record could fall. And you guys right now, you're unbeaten at home. So I think that has never happened yet. So if we can continue that streak, it'd be a year of just breaking records, which I think is awesome for this team.
Yep.
And hopefully it culminates with a NCAA tournament appearance to make things even better.
Yep. The support has been great, though. It's been awesome.
It's been so, even for, sometimes the crowds, I guess, loudness and involvement factor to sometimes the size has been unbelievable. Like, I wish a lot of the rowdy fans, it seems like the rowdiest fans show up for the women's basketball games, and the men's games, they're just because there's a few more people in the stands, and they're kind of just, they don't feel as comfortable being, acting a fool, but they do during the women's games, and I'm like, where are these people, where's the energy that they, during the women's games? I mean, it's great. So you definitely have a great fan base and getting even larger as you play better. So congrats on that. Well, good luck this weekend. You're going to be at Seattle. Big one there. Folks can check that out. That one on the WAC Digital Network. And then we'll see you in a couple weeks back at home. Congratulations on your records.
Thank you.
I'm just excited to see where they're going to go. I know they say records are made to be broken, but I'm looking at Ty's point total and going, I don't see it. I'm looking at Batabe's rebound and going, she's got 700. She's got like a season and a half to play. I just don't see it get broken. So it'll be I think it'll be safe for a couple decades for both of you. So
that'll be awesome.
Congratulations. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Tyonna, Outland, Batabe, Zempare here on Roadrunner Rundown. Folks, you can get the show anytime online at GoRunners.com. Recently redesigned GoRunners.com, and Roadrunner Rundown has a permanent home right in the top right corner of the website. You can get the show anytime right there. Of course, archive editions as well on GoRunners.com. Next week on the program, as we mentioned, Ali Ahmed will join us from CSUB men's basketball. Also, we'll have some baseball preview on next week's program as well. And also, don't forget, Corey Versus will continue. We'll figure out what I want to do this next week. Because softball was so successful, so I don't know. What's next. We shall find out. Follow us anytime online, as I mentioned, at GoRunners.com. Get scores and highlights, CSUB schedules as well, and of course, ValleyTix.com for all your Roadrunner tickets. On Facebook, Facebook.com/CSUB Roadrunners, and on Twitter and Instagram at CSUB Athletics. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks to Chrissy Buck-Ziegler, our head softball coach, for joining us on the show. Tyonna Outland and Batabe Zempare. We'll be back next week. Thanks so much for joining us, folks. This has been Roadrunner Rundown.